National Development Plan 2024 to 2030, the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development has brought together youths from all 16 districts across the country to make inputs into each of the pillars of the government's Big Five game changer. Joseph Toure has the details.
The gathering of young people in Freetown to have their say on the medium-term National Development Plan 2024 to 2030 was a moment to validate ideas that they had identified during the extensive consultation processes at the regional level. The move also saw them as critical players to the development landscape of Sierra Leone and ensure their needs reflect on the final document. UNICEF country representative Rudolf Schwenk lauded the ministry for such initiative and described youth as crucial contributors to development dialogue. The UNICEF boss was concerned about them having more opportunities not limited to employment and innovation.
The insights gathered from the youth, they emphasize critical concerns such as food security, sustainable agriculture, quality education, and of course, employment opportunities. We will hear this also in the presentations. And there is also a strong emphasis on addressing challenges faced by girls, including early marriage, ensuring active participation in education, and of course employment.
Minister of Planning and Economic Development, H.E Bio, said government prioritizes young people. She noted that was why job creation for youth is the only pillar in the plan that has a specific target. Minister Bale encouraged them to give brilliant ideas on how each pillar in the plan could benefit young people.
There's a connection with all of the Big Five game changers. We expect that youth will be employed, another percentage of youth will be employed in the agriculture and fisheries sector. If you look at now technology, that is one of the game changers, we're looking at AI, we're looking at how technology can improve food security. And who are those now that are more proficient in handling technology is the youth.
She added recommendations that emanated from them would be highly considered. Amid their contributions to the development of the said plan, what did the youth themselves desire to see following the launch of the document?
One of the things that is very crucial to us is that government consider not just providing jobs for young people, but also providing jobs that can be sustainable.
I am personally advocating for women, not just for us to have equality, but also equity, because equality without equity is nothing.
The medium-term National Development Plan 2024 to 2030 is said to be launched at the end of January 2024. SLBC, Joseph Toure reporting.
A report by United Nations Women titled How Women Fared in the June 2023 Election has indicated that women were in support of the proportional representation system. The support is due to the fact that the PIO system forced political parties to select women, and that increased women's representation in elected positions and support. According to the report, Emmanuel Samura witnessed this and reports.
The report titled How Women Fared in the June 23 Elections was to retrospect women's political experience before, during and after the June 23 elections and document those experiences for future reference. The study looked at 5 thematic areas, which are political parties, CSO's engagement, electoral legal frameworks, electoral security and violence against women, and communication on women's participation. For findings of the role of political parties, consultant of the study, Honorable Dr. Bernadette Lai, said that political parties were commended for ensuring women registered, collected their voters' ID, and cast their vote. political parties took most of the financial obligations of candidates during campaigns. Dr. Lai said that SLPP and APC parties were accused of insincerity in the awarding of symbols, and criteria for the position of candidates on the nomination list was unclear. Mayoral aspirant of Bo City Council, Catherine Silla, was however concerned about the non-adherence to the 30% quota by political parties for local councils.
For the local councils, the leadership of the local councils, the 30% was not really taken into cognizance.
Dr. Lai said in general, women were in support of the PR system because it increased their representation in elected positions.
Women are happy that we have the PR system, and they want that PR system to stay, because that is the only system that will force the political parties not to use their discretion. But now they will be forced by the law. When they don't go by the law, they have sanctions.
While some CSOs were commended for their coordination during the electioneering period, Dr. Bernadette Lai said others were accused of taking sides. Also, there were high commendations for the electoral legal frameworks that are gender sensitive, but the women recommended a review of some of the law, especially for the positioning of women on the nomination list and inclusion of women in the national executives of political parties. Other partners present commended Sierra Leone for the increase in women's representation in politics and leadership positions, which far outweighs other African nations. They also pledged to continue supporting until gender equity was achieved in the country. Emmanuel Samoa, SLBC.
The Ministry of Health, through the National Public Health Agency, has embarked on a pivotal journey to enhance oral health across the nation by actively working on the development of a comprehensive oral health strategic plan. Recognizing the importance of oral health and the overall well-being of the population, its initiative aims to address key challenges and chart a course for a healthier future. Jonathan Turner now reports.
The formulation of the Oral Health Strategic Plan was a response to the evolving healthcare landscape, aligning with global best practices and ensuring that Sierra Leone citizens have access to optimal oral health care services. The engagement with diverse range of stakeholders, including healthcare professionals, community leaders, and international partners, was to ensure a holistic and inclusive approach towards achieving oral health.
We have among them oral health and workforce development, oral health research agenda, oral health governance. So all those specific WHO global health objectives on the oral health, we are going to ensure that the strategic plan targets all of those ones. We want to ensure that when we talk about oral health governance, Sierra Leone has done so much. In fact, in terms of like the use of amalgam as dental filling, this is something that has been put to the board.
As Sierra Leone commits to prioritizing oral health on a national level, the Ministry of Health encourages active participation of all stakeholders to contribute valuable insights and shape the development of a robust oral health strategic plan that will benefit the entire population. These initiatives underscores the government's dedication to ensuring that oral health becomes an integral part of the broader healthcare agenda in Sierra Leone. For SLBC News, Jonathan Turner reporting.
If you're just tuning in, watching news live from our studios at New England SLBC Television, and I am Diana Duetti. We'll continue with the rest of the news. A team comprising 27 people, including 2 Americans, had ended a 180-mile walk from Monrovia, Liberia to Bo City in 7 days. The activity, which was organized by Rotary Club Sierra Leone, Bo Chapter and Sierra Leone Foundation for New Democracy, aimed to raise awareness on mental health issues and gender-based violence in the country. Soriba Samura filed in this report from Bo.
Team lead, founder and CEO of Sierra Leone Foundation for New Democracy, Hindulo Pukawa, lauded Rotary Bo and Work for a Child Sierra Leone for the partnership. Cognizant of the rate at which substance abuse is prevalent in Sierra Leone, Mr. Pukawa expressed hope that government and every Sierra Leonean could continue to join forces with organizations like the TRIO, while calling on citizens to imbibe new ways of thinking in tackling any odd in the society. The president of Rotary Bow, Taplima Mwana, expressed hope of continued collaboration with Work for a Child Sierra Leone and Sierra Leone Foundation for New Democracy for the establishment of a mental health facility in Bow.
But by next year, we're hoping that we'll continue, whether we'll work with the Sierra Leone Foundation for New Democracy or we shall look for new partners, but we are hoping that we shall continue the walkathon as part of what Rotary will be doing in this community.
One of the foreign nationals involved in the Walkathon 2024 by Rotary Bow, Dustin Montgomery, urged Sierra Leoneans to own up to the responsibility of sacrificing for one another.
From Monrovia all the way back to Bow, we hear the same stories of sexual violence, the same stories of mental health. And so what we have done is we began this conversation. I was talking earlier about what is the long-term vision of this program. The long-term vision is for me not to be here. The long-term vision is to get young Sierra Leoneans begin talking about these issues within their own home communities and begin doing these events.
Scores of community people lined up along the streets from the Gelehun checkpoint near Bow, where the media and other stakeholders received the volunteer walkathoners.
We will now go over to our sports desk for some sports update.
Welcome along to the updates that keeps you in the know. I am Abdul Kabir. We begin with Olympics in this edition. Now, ahead of the Paris 2024 Olympics and Paralympic Games, the National Olympic Committee has paid a courtesy call on the President of Sierra Leone.
In a promising display of national unity, President Dr. Julius Maada Bio welcomed members of the National Olympic Committee and Commonwealth Games Association of Sierra Leone to State House on Wednesday, 17th January 2024. The delegation led by NOC and CGA President Prince Wale and accompanied by Minister of Sport Augusta James Tema and National Sport Authority Executive Director Dr. Kenneth Brimer briefed President Bio on upcoming Olympic and Paralympic event, seeking his support and guidance. The President reportedly engaged in a lively discussion with the team, expressing his unwavering commitment to Sierra Leone's athletes and their aspirations on the global stage. He commended their dedication and pledged the government's continued support in preparing and sending strong contingents to future competitions. This meeting signifies a renewed emphasis on sport development in Sierra Leone, highlighting the crucial role the NOC and CGA plays in nurturing athletic talent and fostering national pride. With President Bio's backing, Sierra Leone's athletes can look forward to enhanced training facilities, increased funding and unwavering encouragement as they chase their Olympic dreams. Mr. Swale also presented an invitation letter for the upcoming Olympic and Paralympic Games, scheduled to hold in France this year, and made personage plea for the head of state to attend. As the journey towards the 2024 Olympics and Paralympics unfold, this meeting sets the stage for an exciting chapter in Sierra Leone's sporting history.
In another development, we flip our attention to the 2023 African Cup of Nations, but a win for Nigeria against the host, Ivory Coast, in what proved to be a very tough encounter. And also Equatorial Guinea defeated Guinea-Bissau by 4-2.
Equatorial Guinea emerged victorious in a thrilling 4-2 win over Guinea-Bissau at the ongoing 2023 AFCON, making the competition in Group A more exciting. The match was a roller coaster of emotions, with both teams trading blows throughout the game. Equatorial Guinea's clinical finishing proved to be the difference as they converted their chances with ruthless efficiency. Winger Emilino bagged the first hat-trick in the 2023 AFCON for Equatorial Guinea. Guinea-Bissau, despite their concerted efforts, were left to ruin their missed opportunities. This result took Group A to a competitive layer, with all four teams still in contention for a place in the knockout stages. The race for qualification promises to be even more exciting in the coming days. Meanwhile, Nigeria edged past host Ivory Coast 1-0 in a thrilling encounter, solidifying their spot in Group A of the 2023 AFCON.
Captain William Chos Ikong coolly converted a penalty 10 minutes after halftime, following a foul on the African Player of the Year, Victor Osimhen. And that's your sports. See you next time.
To end the news, we look again at our top stories. President Julius Maada Bio has delivered an impassioned speech wherein he called for sustained unity for the prosperous nation, underscoring his government's committed to fostering peace and coexistence. He said his government would prioritize dialogue and engagement, urging fellow citizens to embrace unity and diversity. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Mohammed Tarawali, has said that treason and murder cases are bailable based on the circumstance. He made his disclosure during a press briefing organized by his ministry's office at the Lamina Sanko Street in Freetown. And government, through RSLAF, has provided over 1 million leones to family members of the deceased officers following the November 26th attack. The financial support presented to the bereaved families at the Joint Force Command headquarters in Wilkinson Road will attend to their basic needs while processing of benefits to them for their loved ones they lost. Well, that's all we have for you in this edition of News Hour, coming to you live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. I have been your presenter, Diana Duetti. Continue watching the SLBC and good night.